How you folks doing? So this is Julio with Paradigm Accretion. We want to develop a pattern of growing and development. Made this little quick video for you guys on how to do a pre-trip or post-trip inspection. This is some of the things that you want to look for before you leave on your day or upon returning of your deliveries. You just basically want to make sure that the truck's in good operational order, make sure that there's no leaks and stuff like that. But I hope you enjoyed the video. It's basically going to show you some of the basic things you can do for a basic 26-foot box truck. Okay, so enjoy. What's going on, guys? We're going to do a quick little post-trip inspection. It should, for a vehicle like this that's 26 foot, it's a 26-foot box truck, should take about maybe 7 to 10 minutes. I'm going to run as thorough as possible for it. Okay, so we're going to start on this side. What you want to do is you always want to start, check your cables, make sure they're not rubbed down to the white. You want to check your air tanks. There's a little knob on the side that you can switch it to let out all the water or the condensation that forms inside of the tanks. You can always drain that in certain periods of time. You want to check your mirrors, make sure they're nice and stable, nice and firm, that they're not cracked, and you want to always make sure that they're nice and clean. Okay, we're going to move over here now. We're going to check the wheel. We're going to make sure that the proper tire tread is on the tire, the proper tire pressure. You usually want to use a gauge. Typically, companies don't allow to use a mallet to hit it, but you can as well. But optimum way of doing pressure check on a tire is through a tire gauge. You want to check your nuts and bolts, make sure they're not oxidated or rust or anything like that. That's a clear indication that they may be loose. You want to check your hub seal, make sure there's plenty of oil in there. Axle oil on there, make sure it's up to the proper level. You want to do a visual inspection here. You want to check your U-bolts, you want to check your brake chambers, your brakes as well. You want to make sure all fluid levels are at the proper level as well, indicated by the tanks. You want to make sure all your hoses and knobs, all your brackets are in place. Always check your serpentine belt. The belt is very important. Make sure it's not loose or cracked or anything like that. If there is, obviously, please report it. Moving to the front of the hood, one of the things you want to do when you're in the front is you want to look under the truck, make sure that there's no leaks or anything, any wet spots or anything like that. That could be an indication that there's oil leaks or something like that under it. You want to make sure the hood's on right. Check these mirrors again, make sure they're mounted properly, make sure that they're clean and not broken. Same thing with this one, you want to check that it's mounted, you want to make sure that it's on there properly. You want to check your license plate, make sure that the registration's up to date. Okay. On this side, same thing. You want to check the tire, the pressure, the nuts and bolts, as I said on the other side. On this particular side, you want to check your steering column. You want to check all your U-bolts as well. Your spring sheets, make sure they're not cracked or anything like that. Here you can see your coolant pressure, make sure it's up to the right level. You also have the dipstick right here. You would pull that out, check your oil level, make sure that you have the proper amount of oil level. You want to check your power steering fluid as well, make sure it has the proper amount of power steering fluid as well. If you have gloves or some type of a napkin, you want to turn the steering column right here, make sure there's not too much play. Typically, if there's too much play, you have to report that. Okay. Here, very important, you want to check your gas tank, make sure that your gas cap closes and opens properly. Make sure that your footsteps to get in and out of the truck are mounted properly as well too. You want to check your diesel exhaust fluid, or DEF for short. Make sure that the tank is mounted on there properly. You do a visual inspection of all your cables, all your lines, all your hoses, to make sure that there's nothing leaking, nothing rubbed down to the bottom. Okay. Towards the back, you want to check from up and down. You want to make sure your lights, all your marker lights are working. You want to check all your rivets, make sure they're not missing, make sure none of these sheets are out or anything like that. You always want to look for damage that you didn't have the previous day as well. Down to the bottom here, you're going to do a visual inspection of everything on the bottom here. So you're going to check all moving parts, all mechanisms, U-bolts, make sure they're not loose. Usually you can try to hit them or move them. If they're loose, please report it. You want to make sure there's no cracks or anything like that on the weldings. Again, always look for visual leaks, water, oil, things like that upon arrival and upon leaving, because that's if nobody touches the truck other than you, you'll be able to see if the truck was leaking or not the night before. Okay, always check your cross members here as well too. Make sure they're not bent or cracked or broken. Moving towards the back here now, we're gonna look at the tires right here. First thing to do is you want to check your pressure again with the tire gauge. You want to check the nuts and bolts, make sure there's no rust or oxidation on them. Always check in between the tires here, make sure there's no rocks or any type of debris stuck in there. You want to look at your brake chambers as well too, all your nuts and bolts. You want to look at your spring sheets here and all your mounts. Make sure none of it's cracked or bent or loose or anything like that. You also want to check the airlines. Once again, you want to make sure that the airlines are not rubbed down to the white, because that is a clear indication that you may be able to get shut down if you were to get pulled over in a scale. Okay. You want to make sure that your mud flap is on there mounted properly. You're going to check your airbags in the back, make sure that they work properly visually, and then you can also press the button in the front that raises and drops the suspension. As you continue to move towards the back, again, you want to keep looking at your U-bolts, make sure none of them are loose, your cross members, make sure none of that's broken, and continue to look for rivets or sheets or anything on the body of the truck that may have fallen off or loosened. This particular vehicle has a lift gate, so what you would want to do is you would want to bring it down, bring it back up, show that do a quick little inspection indication that it works properly. You want to make sure the hydraulics are not leaking anywhere. Once that works, then you can proceed. Again, you want to check your license plate, make sure that it's mounted on properly. You want to make sure that your back door here opens and closes properly, and locks as well. You're going to check that the lights are working, the marker lights are working as well. Make sure that your steps here for you to get in and on mounts all works properly. So that's a very quick video of a pre-trip or post-trip inspection. Usually everything we just did on that side, you would do on the other side as well too. So other than that, thank you so much for your time. Hey, thank you for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Julio with Paradigm Accretion, where we're trying to create a pattern of development and growth. And I hope you enjoyed the video again. And today is October 12th, 2023. Everybody have a great day.